Hello and welcome to another episode of Chit Chat and All That with me, Amanda Prowse.
And me, Penny Dommett. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. Hopefully today we're going to give you lots of recommendations for things that you can do in the sunshine.
Pen.
Hasn't it been lovely?
Do you know, I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like a different person when it's sunny.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I just love it. Sometimes when you're working in it can be a little bit testing.
Get your sweat on.
Yeah, well, and also, you've got to be sun aware.
Yes, of course.
And because I'm working outside all the time, I do make sure that everybody has long sleeves and that sort of stuff. But everything stays clean. That's what's lovely.
I think it's the general light. You see, the thing I hate about winter is the greyness. We've said this before, and this blue, when you see a blue sky, it just lifts everything. I think it's why people want to retire to the sunshine. I think partly it's the warmth on their bones and, cheap sangria, but I think mainly it's just that feeling you get when you look at a blue sky.
I've never really understood why. Seriously, I can understand the warmth and the wanting to, have a beautiful home that's lovely and clean and you never see that much rain. But the one thing I don't understand is you retire to have more time with your friends and family and then you move thousands of miles away.
I remember you said this a while ago. And I think the point is, though, maybe some people haven't got lots of friends and family, or maybe they don't get on with them, or maybe they want a new start. And sometimes when you're sort of bound to a job or bound to a house or bound to a duty, the freedom, just unshackling from that and being able to just go and do and be wherever you want. I mean, kids do it all the time, don't they, with their gap year or whatever?
That's very true.
That's the thing, isn't it? Oh, we'll have a gap year. We didn't have gap years in our day, did we?
No.
Barely had holidays, Pen.
Well, and I'm slightly got a reputation for not taking enough now.
Exactly.
But retirement is a funny thing. I don't like the word.
I don't like the word.
Sounds a bit old.
I think also it's something that, it used to be, I remember, my granddad and my dad too, to a certain extent, started work at 14 and you left at 65. You got a
Carriage
thank you
clock.
and carriage clock if you were very lucky. Quick, half a pint up the social club, bit of a cake and a curled crusted sandwich. And that was it. Off you set. And you went into a different phase of life, like your final trimester, I know I use that word a lot, of your life. But it's not like that now. We don't just do one job. We don't have one career. And we don't have a time when we can retire. Largely, unfortunately, because financially, most people can't retire.
But also, looking on the positive side, the good thing is now, the majority of people have better health. And because they have better health, they can stay working for longer. And they quite often want to stay working for longer. I've always thought to myself that if ever I worked in an office and I had to stop working in an office, I could do something like working in B&Q.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
What shop would you work in if you had to go back to?
Well, somewhere like B&Q. I think those are interesting people that go to B&Q.
Yeah, and it's nice. Looks like a nice community.
Other stores are available, but it's sort of people that are interested in doing DIY. And...
Oh, you'd be great because you'd be in the plant department.
Yes, I would.
You'd know all the names.
Yeah,
you'd give lots of
I'd
advice.
be out there watering.
Oh,
I love a bit of watering.
You would, and potting up seedlings.
Yes,
you'd be in your element.
I'm a bit
Wouldn't
sick
be
of that.
retiring at all, would it?
Don't even talk to me about seedlings.
Really?
It's like Tetris seedling.
Oh,
yeah, seedling Tetris.
I know that you a couple of weeks ago you were telling us that you had a terrible problem with chickens and sweet peas.
I did.
And we weren't sure. It was a bit of a cliffhanger. Were you going to be able to save any, and would they dig them up again? What's happened, Pen?
Well, Kentucky Fried Chicken is an option. No, I searched the pen for the tiniest hole because these chickens they're called white leghorns.
They're very gorgeous.
They are very gorgeous, but they're very slim. They're quite a rangy chicken.
They are.
And they managed to get out of the tiniest hole in the pen.
Was it literally like...
yeah, they're so clever.
Cold its. They just made an escape hatch.
It was...
Had they dug a tunnel and made a little trolley and they were wheeling along with the dirt in the pockets?
Do you know, when you watch Chicken Run, after you've owned chickens and you watch Chicken Run, it is absolutely hilarious because
That's
it is
funny.
so true.
Yeah.
And I swear there are chickens that sit and knit when they're back in the coop. They are
What do
very
you think
funny.
they knit, Pen? If you were a chicken, what would you knit? I don't know.
Egg warmers.
Egg cozies. Of course you would.
But I mean, they are wonderful. They're a great addition because we don't use any chemicals on the cut flower areas. And so consequently, the chicken manure and the bedding all goes into the compost. Very good high nitrogen, phosphagen, all great. So I need the chickens. So, you know.
And you like their
yeah,
eggs.
Yeah, I love the eggs. But it is very frustrating. And I should just say, anybody thinking, oh, those poor chickens in this tiny little pen, they have literally a third of the garden, don't they?
It's more, they have more to roam than most people's gardens.
Exactly.
Pen. It's amazing.
They have loads of space.
They're happy little cluckers.
Yes, they are. They are. But I'd quite like them to stay in the pen.
Yes.
Lots of seedlings have been put out now, so we have to be a bit careful. And we actually encourage birds, not the chicken variety, but birds onto the beds because that's how we keep the slugs down.
Okay.
So I buy a big bag of mealworms, dried mealworms, and I sprinkle them over the dahlia beds so that the emerging dahlias, because this was a real problem last year, a lot of people had their dahlias as they were put into the ground, the little shoots, all eaten by slugs. And so it meant that you were very behind if your plants survived at all. So what I do is I spread these mealworms. I've got the feeling I learnt that from Sarah Raven.
You'd love a bit of Sarah Raven.
So she suggested it and I've tried it and it works. And it encourages all the garden birds to come and peck about in the dahlia beds and eat
Very
the
clever.
slugs. It is clever.
I love that when a solution is in nature itself. You
Yes.
don't have to do anything other than that. It's
Very
really clever.
much so. Very
So
much
did
so.
you save any sweet peas? I'm
Yes.
asking for a friend
Yeah.
who loves your bunches of sweet peas that arrive all summer.
Yes, and I've actually planted out 287 sweet pea seedlings.
Could you be more specific?
No. I know every one of them personally now, having put them in and had them taken out and put them back in again.
Penny.
But we're going to have the most wonderful selection of colours this year.
That's so exciting.
Can I just put a plug in? Anybody thinking about growing
Can
some
I
sweet
just put a plug in?
Anybody thinking about growing sweet peas, it's not too late to put some seeds in, or you can buy them as seedlings from the garden centre. Get them, you will love them. I mean, they bring so much joy having the sweet peas outside the back door. You can put them into a big pot, create a little wigwam teepee thing, and they will happily climb up them. Just remember to water them a lot.
How lovely.
Yeah, really easy.
That's never occurred to me that I could do it in a pot. I've always thought I need a big frame or something.
No, you can literally, as big a pot as you can get. And then you get 4 bamboo canes, make them into a little wigwam,
I've seen that.
tie some string round it to any way you like, as long as it gets to the top. And then as the sweet peas emerge, you plant them all the way around the edge of the pot and they'll just clamber up. And you just need to remember to keep picking.
Wow.
I will get fed up of sweet peas at some point.
I just adore them. It's the smell, it's everything, isn't it? They, for me, represent summer.
And I don't think there's anything better than roses and sweet peas sent together.
Not a roses fan, I've got to admit, as you know.
Really? I don't think you can beat it. I think it's very English. And apparently that is the scent, or is it roses and honeysuckle? Something like that is supposed to be the most perfect scent.
What, is a combination?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that about combining
Yeah.
them.
But have you not heard of the overlayering perfumes?
No?
Oh, that's quite interesting. You can, because perfumes have high and low scents. They have high and low
like
tones.
a base note and a...
Yes,
Right.
yes. And particular perfumes, if you overlayer them, go really well together.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. Where I heard about it was Jo Malone. If you go in there,
she'd know.
Yeah, they put certain ones with other ones.
Are they trying to make you buy 2 bottles?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they saw me
Call
coming.
me a cynic, Pen.
They saw me coming. But I do like a splash of Joe Malone.
Yeah,
you
you
don't
do.
like it? We've had that conversation.
We have, yeah.
You're very boring. You only have
I
one.
am very boring. I know, very,
Yeah.
very boring. I am very boring. So what should we be doing in the garden then, other than sweet peas? Is there anything we should be concentrating on right now?
Well, we have had some very dry weather, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
Hallelujah.
yeah, well, I know, but the problem is plants are not used to this time of the year having so much dry weather. We haven't had any decent rain
No.
for a number of weeks now, which at the beginning of the plant's growing season is hard for them.
My worry, Pen, as well, is... Sorry, I interrupt you then.
No, carry on.
My worry is that we always seem to have a really lovely warm Easter and then it's pants.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always think when we're getting a splurge of gorgeousness around Easter, is that the death knell for the summer?
Somebody said the last time we had this much dry weather in March was in lockdown year.
Yeah.
Do you
that's
remember?
right.
It
I
was
do.
really, really warm weather and people
Beautiful.
were at the beach and
Yeah.
people wanted to go to the park and we obviously couldn't go out. And then we still had a good summer, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, we did. That's true. That was a saving grace, wasn't it?
Well, the fact that it wasn't pouring with rain the
Yeah.
entire time, yeah.
We were talking about lockdown just actually this weekend. I did a literary event, a marvellous literary event actually. Well done to anyone and hello to anyone I met at the book taster event in Warwick. What a beautiful, beautiful weekend that was. It was fantastic, Pen.
Looked great.
Oh, to be among, bookish people who love books, want to talk books, and it was quite incredible. 6 fabulous authors. I just thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was great.
Who else was there?
Jenny Godfrey, who's written List of Suspicious Things. She was an absolute hoot. Samuel, surname's gone out my head. Samuel Burr, is it Burr? It might be. Who's written this incredible book, The Fellowship of Puzzle Makers.
I've heard of that.
You would absolutely love it. And he was gorgeous. Funnily enough, he smelt divine. And I followed him around all day going, oh, you smell lovely. Oh, you smell... I think he thought I was a bit of a weirdo, but he did smell absolutely delicious.
He put the security guards on you.
Exactly. Lisa Jewell, fabulous thriller writer. And
She's a great... I've read a lot of hers.
She's really great. She's lovely. And she's really funny
Has
as well.
she just brought a new one out?
I think she had one out quite recently.
Ah, right.
But she's fabulous and really interesting to talk about their processes and Claire Pooley, another lovely writer. So she wrote The People on Platform 5, amongst others, The Sober Diaries, which is her non-fiction book. She's a fabulous writer and a really, really interesting human. I love listening to them all being interviewed, sort of talk about their process. And a brilliant Irish writer, Fee Scarlett, who wrote Boys Don't Cry. Oh, Penny, it is an absolute heartbreaking book, but brilliantly written. So it was a really nice little gathering of us all. And,
sort of mix.
Yeah, it was lovely. And we were talking about COVID, funny enough, and that whole lockdown business and how it's kind of, we've all sort of put it out of our minds.
5 years.
We can't sort of think about it, talk about it. None of us really write about it. And we were saying it's almost like, not the same, but World War II, people in World War II didn't talk about it, write about it. It was kind of so extreme and dramatic and this thing that shaped the rest of your lives that it was only years later you sort of felt able to reflect.
Yeah. I was going to say that I think that it will come out, but probably 20 years' time, people will say, oh, that was COVID, or there'll be films where COVID features.
Yeah, but I think partly people don't want to be reminded. They don't want to particularly read about it. It was so just bizarre and dark and life-altering, but it happened to us and we don't really acknowledge it. And I think the legacy of it in terms of mental health, physical health, and just the way it changed us as a society, there is so much to unpick in that, isn't there?
Definitely.
Do you ever think about it?
Well, funnily enough, I've just been asked, being asthmatic, I've just been asked to go in for a COVID jab.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting because this year it's been more knowing people who have had flu, different variants of flu that have been really nasty. Haven't heard of many people having COVID, but is that because people don't test for COVID anymore?
It could be, couldn't it?
But anyway, they said, you must come in and have your spring COVID jab.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which is great. I mean, I'm assuming the minute I say, oh, surely I don't need to have a COVID jab, will be the moment I catch it.
Yeah.
So I always believe very much, rightly or wrongly, I have great faith in the medical profession, and if they're offering it to me, that is for a reason.
Yeah.
So I think I will. Well, I know I will go and have one.
I wonder if you've had a COVID jab, if you can't get COVID, or whether you just get a lesser.
You get a lesser. I think it hits you less badly.
Okay, so that's worth it then, just for that. Particularly with your chest pain.
Yeah, I think
you're telling me your chest.
Can I just go back slightly, because it's just suddenly popped into my head. They always say, don't they, if you're going to write a book, make sure you write it about something you know about. But obviously that's not the truth, because, you know, people write books about all sorts of crazy, weird and wonderful things. If, like Lisa Jewell, you were a psychological thriller writer, where do they base it on a case? Do they go, oh, let's look through all the old cases and find one that seems interesting, and then I'll base my story on that? How on earth do they think of some of those things?
Well, I suppose in the same way that any of us do. I mean, Lisa didn't start as a thriller writer. Her first book was Ralph's Party.
Really?
Yeah, which is actually, I would say, dare I categorise it, it's more rom-com. Brilliant book for those of you that haven't read it. 20 years old, I think, last year.
Gosh.
Phenomenal. She's been writing for about 30 years. She's a cracking author. I really like the way she writes. But Ralph's Party, I believe, was her first book. Was it 30 years? My God, it might have even been 30 years ago. That ages me. But it's wonderful. And she didn't start off at all writing thrillers. In fact, I think her thriller career, if I'm not mistaken, really took off about 5-6 years ago, like in earnest. And she just can't do anything wrong. Her books are stronger, better than they just keep growing. She's phenomenal.
I've literally listened to most of hers.
She's
now.
really, really good. And I think, I suppose, in the way that any story comes to any of us, it just must arrive and you just, let it grow from there. I'd love to know what the catalyst is. You're right, because it is so specific, isn't it?
Yes.
A crime, a murder,
Yeah.
a thing. Claire McIntosh, she's another great writer who I've worked with before. She's fabulous. And I know that she was very excited. She said, I sometimes think, that's so good, it must have been done.
Oh, really?
And I love that as an idea, that she is having so many good, strong, original ideas that she thinks, that's so fabulous. I just love that.
There was a writer you mentioned the other day. Was it John Gad?
John Mars.
Mars. Gad. Sounds similar.
Very similar.
John Mars.
Yeah.
And then weirdly, after you mentioned him, he popped up in something. And I thought, I must listen to one of those.
You'd love John. He's fabulous. He's my friend. He's a lovely writer and a really lovely human. I adore him. He's so great.
I always think all of the people that I'm reading, they must be nice.
Yeah. I've started, so you gave me Joanna Quinn, The Wellborn Theatre.
Have you started it?
I've started it, so don't
do
tell
you
me
love it?
Penny, I do.
I told you would.
Penny, it is so beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Now, what is it? Why is that so beautiful?
I tell you why. It's that indefinable, indescribable magic X factor that just makes you want to stay on the page. And some people can do it, and others can try for decades and never do it. There is something about her writing. It's enigmatic, it's nostalgic, it's easy. It's not a complicated read. It's not like I'm stumbling over, prose and words and having to look things up. I don't feel like I'm having a lesson. It's absolutely beautiful. I thank you so much. I will give it back to you when I finish.
I think for me, all those characters, and there are a lot.
It's character driven, definitely.
All of them. There were some that I liked more than others.
Yeah.
But the characters were beautifully padded.
Yes.
You actually could see.
You could pick them out.
There's a French man in it. And I swear I could see him standing in front of me.
Yeah.
That's how beautifully descriptive she was.
Yeah.
And it's set in Devon.
Which I also love.
And I could see the beach, the house,
Yeah.
everything. I really, in fact, I looked up the name because I was so utterly convinced that was a real place.
Yeah.
And, that's clever writing, isn't it?
It is really clever. It's one of those books. I'm absolutely loving it. Have you started raising hair yet?
You didn't give it to me.
Are you absolutely joking?
I'm not joking.
Penny,
you said to
that
me,
is so funny.
You said to me, I must give you raising hair. And when I got home, I thought, drat, she didn't give it to me.
That is hilarious. Have you started it yet?
No.
No, you didn't give it to me. Darling, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's bad friending.
That's okay. But do you know what I've started instead?
What?
Which I for the first sort of week, I thought, oh no. Butter by, it's a Japanese person.
Yes.
Asako something.
I don't know.
Sorry, I can't. But if you just mention the word butter, people know the
What's it
novel.
about?
Butter, fascinating.
No wonder you like it, 'cause you love butter.
Seriously, it's now I'm into it. This will sound terrible. It's a lot of Japanese name places.
So it takes you a while to...
Names.
Yeah, I get that.
And so you have to really concentrate on who is who.
Yeah.
But that slightly now is fascinating. It's fascinating. And I thought, mistakenly, that it was about food. But in actual fact, it's about a reporter who uses food to get an interview with a murderer.
Wow.
A serial murderer who blogs about cooking.
Wow.
And so she pretends to enjoy cooking to get an interview with her. And that's what it's about.
Amazing.
It's going to be I wouldn't say it's an easy read,
No.
but it's going to be an interesting one.
I love things that are a little bit challenging, and I love things that are different.
I can definitely let you have this one after I've read it.
Maybe I will give you Raising Hairpin.
Yes.
If I can remember. Do you know,
I'm really
I
looking
feel
forward to
terrible
it.
about that, darling. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
So I actually, let's just to recap. I took your book and didn't give you a replacement. Did you feel like being conned at the library?
That's the one thing. I mean, I know I'm always going on about Audible. That's the one thing that I think's really sad. When you buy a book, as in a physical book, the joy of loving it so much and being able to hand it over to someone else is really... I love that.
Yeah.
Do you love that?
I do.
And somebody else has taken to writing in the front of her books, and she'll say, I really love this book. I hope you enjoy it too. Or,
I do that.
You wait till you get to chapter 23.
I do that. I put little notes
you?
in. Yeah.
You see, I think that's a wonderful thing. And that's the one thing you can't do with Audible.
No, it's true. Although I can say, here's a book I think you should read. And for example, like several of the Amanda Prowse titles this month in America and UK are either free on Kindle Unlimited or 99p.
Yes.
Price of a Freddo in some supermarkets.
That's amazing.
It is, eh? All that work.
Do more people read or listen to your books?
Read.
Yeah. What's this? I mean, is it like half and half?
Oh, no, nothing like. No. I mean, it's something like 90% of people read my books and 10% listen. I mean, it's not, I'm making that up, but it's that different.
They only buy the book because they love the cover.
I think they love the book because it reminds them of their life.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, it is because it's a lovely thing to have.
Yeah.
To
I
hold.
have a lot of people who will buy a digital book of mine and then buy the paperback to keep.
It's interesting.
Quite a lot.
Yes, I can understand that. It was interesting. I once said to you, I can't understand why people buy hardbacks.
Yeah.
And you said it's because it's a precious, special thing to have.
Well, as a gift, I love giving someone a hardback. I think that's just the most incredible thing. And also, it's something very tactile, and it sort of feels like it's going to last forever. And you can, it's one of those, isn't it?
They're just difficult to read in bed.
Well, not without getting a bruised nose. That's the joy of Audible at bedtime, of course.
There
Unless you're Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
Who we love. We have to, every time we say that story, we have to go, who we love, because
Do you know
we do.
what?
Sir Stephen.
What on earth would I say to him if I ever came face to face?
You could say, I love taking you to bed every night, Sir Fry.
Sir Fry.
Thank you for all your work.
He is wonderful. He is really.
I've met him.
Have you?
Yeah, very nice. Quite shy, I'd say.
You keep dropping this into the conversation.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just met Twiggy. Oh, I just met... I mean, honestly, talk about name drop. Bash. So, where were you when you met Sir? Is he a sir? He's not a sir, is he?
Yes,
no,
he
he's
is.
not.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Is he? Yeah, and Pierce Brosnan
is Irish.
Actually Irish. I went
He's
to...
a new thing.
Is he?
Oh, he's very Irish in that.
About the mob?
Yeah, Mobland.
I haven't watched it because I think it's violent.
He's very Irish.
Was that an Irish accent, Pen?
No.
Good. Is it a bit violent?
I think so. It has mob in the title.
It's a clue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did I meet Stephen Fry? Do you want to know or not?
Yes.
I went to a film premiere. And the film premiere was, and this is terrible because I cannot remember. Yes, you can. It was about an artist.
What, Salvador Dali?
No, I went to a film
Picasso?
premiere. No, it was the one with Dominic Dudar, Dominic White.
Yes.
And he was a tortured artist. And it was, do you know, I can't remember. I will find
Was
out.
Stephen Fry in it?
No, he was a guest like me.
Oh.
Yeah, it was lovely. At a theatre. Claire Balding was there. She's
another national treasure.
She was lovely. She was raising money for a horse charity.
Sandy Toksvig, have you met her? She must be lovely.
I haven't,
I
but
bet
I'd like
she's
to.
lovely. She's funny.
She is
I
funny.
think she's got a wicked sense of humour.
I love her. I think she's great. I'm trying to remember the name of this bloody
If ever
film.
I'm feeling a bit fed up, I watch QI.
So, Stephen Fry gets you to sleep. QI
Cheers
makes
me
you
up.
less fed up.
Yeah.
It's great. Everyone's got their little roll pen, isn't it,
I
really?
know.
I can't remember the name of the film. I will
Anyway.
post it as and when I
So
remember.
what?
He was tall.
Yeah, I mean, he is tall.
He was quite shy, quite quietly spoken, and very obviously Stephen Fry.
Oh, well, I'm
He
going
can't
to name
hide,
drop.
can he?
I'm going to name drop. I have a lovely friend who...
No, I'm your lovely friend.
yeah, but I have another lovely friend
No,
called Freya.
no.
Who-
You have a friend. I am the lovely friend.
Okay. You're the clever friend.
Oh, great. Is that why I'm the clever friend? I thought I was the funny friend as well.
Of course.
And your best friend.
Yes. Who went to Cambridge.
Ah.
And she became director of the Cambridge Footlights
Wow.
when Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, Emma
Thompson. Who we love in everything.
They were all in Footlights at that
That's
time.
amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's just a shame she didn't keep in touch with them all.
Yes, it's a shame. That's wonderful,
Isn't
though.
that amazing?
But she could tell a good tale or two.
Yeah. Oh, she wouldn't. She's far too discreet.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Until she's got on the old, shampoo, and then we could really get her
Can
talking.
I just tell you? I would just like to tell you a lovely thing that happened to me. Because I meant to tell you last week and I forgot. Mother's Day recently. And
Not that we're mentioning it.
no. I thought it was going to just be a, quiet Mother's Day.
It was for some of us, Pen.
I'm not. Well, it was incredibly quiet. Both the boys were busy. That's absolutely fine. They have their own wives to worry about.
Tend to.
And, lovely. I'm so glad that they have, that lovely situation going on. Great. Because I lost Mum so young, Mother's Day's always had a little bit of an edge for me.
I get that,
I
darling.
found it quite difficult.
Darling, believe it or not, we have come to the end of another lovely episode. I have loved talking to you today, Pen. I love talking to you every day. But thank you for today. It's been really nice.
It has. It's been nice, hasn't it?
It really has. And we do have some announcements to make about our podcast, all exciting, all big news, all going forward. So we will do a little video over the next couple of weeks and put it out just to let everyone know all our exciting plans and what's happening.
But not to worry. It is going to be
Oh, yeah.
the same, but better.
The same but better different.
Yes.
Is that the right
Yeah.
way to put it?
And hopefully you will all notice the difference and will enjoy the changes.
We've listened to everything that everyone said. We've taken on all the suggestions on board, and we know we're not above reacting to those things, are we? We want to know how to make it better. So
Well, I think we'd love to keep doing it. That's
course,
the point.
yeah.
And we want to make sure that we, people recommend us on.
yeah, exactly that. If you have enjoyed us today, do tell your friends. Give us a follow. Subscribe. As and when you can.
Subscribe.
But thank you. And until next time, take care.
Bye-bye.